I thought that love was something that I needed to find, just like I think anyone. And this is kind of a societal programming. I was trapped for almost 2 decades in a trauma bond with a narcissist in a very abusive relationship. A trauma bond, if you don't know, is an actual chemical, physical, mental addiction to the highs and the lows of the abuse. And most people that are trapped within this cycle, they don't realize that there is an actual name for this, that there is a reason as to why they feel like they can't leave, or why they feel addicted, or why they continue to attract the same people over and over again in their lives. This is an actual chemical addiction in the brain, like a drug addiction. And so it makes it extremely difficult to physically remove yourself. Logically, you already know that it's bad for you, but physically, your body cannot withstand the withdrawal that it causes. People who haven't experienced it don't understand that they're actually dealing with a chemical addiction, a nervous system addiction, and also a subconscious program that is looping within the subconscious mind that they don't really realize is there. And it was built off of a survival identity that was formed a long time ago, most likely in a childhood. Your main focus is just surviving when you leave something like this. And what's really crazy is the biggest sign that I had healed wasn't that I finally stopped missing him. I finally stopped thinking about him. I finally stopped having the urge to go back. And it definitely wasn't because I had found a better relationship. The biggest sign that I had healed was that I completely stopped looking for one. And the crazy thing is that wasn't even my goal. It was just sort of a byproduct of healing. So after I left, I was thrown into this spiral of a dark night of the soul, which usually, ends in a profound spiritual awakening. I consumed myself with studying and researching and learning and getting certified, everything you can name with the realms of narcissistic abuse, the psychology behind it, nervous system, the addiction behind it, trauma bonds, abuse, survival identity, subconscious programming, energy work, universal laws, you name it, I learned about it. I transferred, all of this internally, and I did the very deep work that most people don't do and don't look at. Little did I know, over time, all of those little pieces would have turned into this kind of signature method that I've come up with. It's called the trauma bond recode, which we'll get into that another time. But it's really funny how the universe prepares you and puts you sort of on this path that you think is just complete and utter turmoil, and ends up being your entire soul's mission to help others. I didn't realize at the time when I was doing all of this studying and learning and healing that something else was actually profoundly happening in the background. I was so consumed with all of these techniques and healing and learning that I didn't realize at the time that I was literally shifting my identity. I was quantum leaping. I was shifting timelines. I was literally recoding my old identity, my subconscious programs that had kept me stuck in these loops. I was literally rewriting them. I was recoding them. And, at the time that I had left, I was just praying that I would have a soulmate come in, that my dream man would come in. But I will tell you that, 80-90% of women that leave narcissistic relationships, if they don't do the proper healing, they will end up back in another relationship with a narcissist. It will be on replay. It'll be a different person, same exact situation, same exact scenario, same exact abuse, because they have not addressed the underlying issue, which is this survival identity, which is this subconscious program. And before the trauma bond can even form, that's already there in the background. That is the reason you attracted this person in the first place. I didn't stop asking for a soulmate or another relationship because I was bitter or resentful and I just hated love and I was giving up on it. It wasn't any of that. It was because I shifted my self-concept. I rewrote my survival identity. I rewrote the subconscious programs and the inner belief system that I had. I shifted into an identity of fullness and completeness from within. And as a byproduct of that, I just stopped needing and searching and obsessing and looking. The missing piece is the love that you have within. If you're missing that piece, you will never be able to find it in anyone, because your outer reality is simply a reflection of your inner state, of your inner self-concept. So unless you address that, you're going to continue to repeat the same lessons over and over. You're going to continue to attract the same narcissists, the same toxic people, the same toxic relationships, the same careers, the same lack of financial hardships. It works with everything. I thought that love was something that I needed to find, just like I think anyone. And this is kind of a societal programming. The trauma bond wasn't just addicted to the person. It was attached to the identity within. The identity that believed love existed outside myself. The identity that believed I needed somebody to make me feel chosen, make me feel special, that I needed somebody to need me. And as that identity died and shifted, the need died with it. Since I'm no longer waiting for somebody to complete me, then the person that shows up will just match who I've become. It won't be another narcissist. It won't be the same repetitive abuse cycle or repetitive loops. It will be the person that matches who I've become within. This is really why so many people leave these toxic relationships and just repeat the cycle, because the identity remains. The only way to create a different relationship and attract different people is to create a different version of yourself, to recode and rewrite the subconscious programs and survival identity that you created yourself, not by pretending, not by affirming till you're blue in the face. You can affirm and you can imagine and you can use all the manifesting techniques in the world. But if they're stemming from a belief system that you created from a survival identity, that is what empowers everything. That's the fuel to your reality. That's the fuel to your existence. It's what drives the engine. And that's what sends the signals out. And that's what attracts in the lack, the relationships, the narcissists, the toxic people. You attract in the amazing relationship by healing the parts of you that thought that you needed somebody to be whole. The greatest relationship you'll ever have is with yourself, because your reality stems from within, from your self-concept, from your internal belief system. And if you love yourself unconditionally, if you're whole within yourself, this is how your reality reflects that. Trauma bonds are very complex and can be very scary. And you will feel like you're crazy. You don't want to talk about this stuff to anyone because they don't understand why you're not leaving this person, why you're still with them, why you keep going back to them, right? So, and I understand that. I was there. That's why I really took all the knowledge that I had on all sides of this, on the physical, the mental, the chemical, psychological, the spiritual, the energetic. And I wrote a book for you, because if I had this when I was going through that, Lord knows I would have felt a million times better, not even just because it explains everything, but just the fact that I knew that I wasn't alone in this, that this is a real thing, and that there are people out there that are going through this, not just me, and that I'm not crazy. There are ways to address it. There are ways to break it. There are ways to overcome it. And I know it feels like it's extremely hard to do that, but there are techniques that help tremendously with breaking this and getting you on the other side. And I know if you're in it, it truly feels like the other side isn't what you want because you're so addicted to this person. But once you get to the other side, it's better than you can have imagined. And I speak from experience. My book will be released soon. If you want to read it and see if it resonates with you, you can click the link in my bio and it will send you to my page where you can just input your email and it'll automatically send you the introduction for free to see if you like it and if it resonates with you. And then you'll be notified when it gets released. So like and subscribe and share this with somebody that you know is going through something like this to let them know that they're not alone. I look forward to seeing you soon.